Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Shooting the Breeze Part 2. This week we are going to discuss wrestlers whose careers got better after leaving the juggernaut WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. Yeah, I could go WWF or I could go WWF. We don't know.
I mean, if it was WWF, I bet you they have so many more viewers if that was the case.
I mean, but the F had to get out.
Yeah.
Get the F out, of course. Great branding by Vince. All right, guys. So with all that being said, who should we start off with first? You want to go Juice Robinson?
Yeah, let's go with Juice actually.
Tell
That's an interesting
us.
story. I mean, you look at Juice, of course, in the past he was at the WWE for a good time. I think he was with
Yeah.
FCW and then he went to
CJ
NXT.
Parker, he was like this environmentalist, this tree hugging character. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I loved it. But yeah, go on. Tell us about like his.
I mean, he was doing pretty good in FCW then NXT, but I think the problem was that he went to that developmental hell again, then it just made
Oh my God.
Oh crap.
Uh, what? The
Revival!
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, Shingards, aka Masa 2.0, has just said F the Revival. Shooting the Breeze. I mean, he just keeps ambushing what
Why
we do.
does he come to me though?
I think you're the closest one to the door there, guy.
I mean, I know he's masa size, but he should know better if he wants.
He's Masa size. He
But
should know better.
whatever. I mean, pretty soon
Oh,
he's
man.
probably gonna have to die soon. I mean,
But it's cool because you people who hate that he does that, guess what?
You're not my dad!
Amen. All right, so let's talk more about CJ Parker, Juice Robinson.
like from FCW, like of course he had that face over there, and then he went over to NXT, of course, kind of like that face heel moment. But he's taking that developmental hell. If you think about it, I mean, between Triple H and all that stuff. For me, I thought Triple H would like have something in mind for him, but I don't think he really had
Yeah.
that time because he was in there for a good while, along with Ty. You know Ty Dillinger, right? 10.
Yeah,
10.
Ty Dillinger, he's a guy. He was in developmental with Cody Rhodes, like back
Back in the day.
10, 12 years ago. 12 years ago, actually.
Yeah, he was there. Of course, you remember
Yeah.
Stan.
Stan, yes, super kicked by Sean.
Sean.
And then he leaves WWE and comes back when it's NXT. And Dusty, when he was alive, RIP to the guy. He was like, why are you here? Why the F are you here? You're too good for this. Yeah, like even going back to 2014, Ty Dillinger, he getting off topic, I know, but still, he didn't really have a gimmick, and then he comes up with the perfect 10, and his 10 has become the new Yes.
Only problem with that is, yes, it's the 10 movement, but when you look at it on the mainstream of the WWE with Vince and all that stuff, Vince doesn't incorporate that. He doesn't see Ty as someone that can hold even a mid-card title, if you think about it.
Yes.
And that's the worst thing. I mean, and then you go back to Juice. Let's go back to Juice Robinson real quick. I mean, I'm glad.
Are we having a guest? Ladies and gentlemen, we're having another ambush.
Don't go to me. Go to him. Okay?
Hornswoggle's in the building. Katie Vick. I mean, I would say Miss Elizabeth, but you want to say hi to the people?
You want to say hi?
Want to say hi to the people?
Do you want to talk on the microphone? Oh. That look.
Are we cool? Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the belligerentness,
I think
the hostility that just occurred here on the Bulletcast.
Elizabeth's gonna kill you. Elizabeth's gonna kill you.
I know that's not the usual performance-enhancing audio that you're used to hearing from us, but we apologize. Moving on. So we talked about the 10. Actually, we can do like chants later after we talk about these
Yeah,
guys.
let's do that. But CJ Parker, of course, he moved on to New Japan, and actually he's doing really good for himself at New Japan if
He
you think
is.
about it,
He
especially with the G1 and everything.
beat
and
Kenny
finding those.
Omega.
Yes.
Reversed the one-winged angel. Like I popped for that. I did.
Because of course, like you look at CJ, like he's still making like a name for himself in New Japan, which is actually really good. Because who knows, maybe they want him back, which I really hope they don't get him back because he's doing so much better for himself at New Japan.
I feel like
actually.
he'll go back like in a couple. Just give it a while. I mean, they all come back. Brett came back.
That is true. I mean, who's another person that came back from New Japan? I forgot. There's actually really not that many people that come back from New Japan to go
Yeah.
over there.
Oh,
person that
Tensai.
Well, Tensai, of course. That's a
Sweet
different.
Tea,
hmm
Matt Bloom.
Matt Bloom. Brock Lesnar just needed the money.
Yeah. Um, let's talk about somebody else. Were you fan of TNA, right?
Yeah.
EC3, Ethan Carter the third.
Ethan Carter the third.
He was during the original NXT, the obstacle course, that goofy stuff. He was known as Derek Bateman then,
hmm
and they really dropped the ball with that guy. Let me tell you, this guy reinvents his whole character. He becomes like the snooty, preppy, heir apparent nephew to Dixie Carter, and then he just goes on this amazing undefeated streak. He's beating Bobby Roode, James Storm, Sting, Kurt Angle,
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, and then he campaigns for the World Championship over in TNA like a president. Never seen that before. That was the most original
That was
thing.
with him and Matt Hardy. I remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
with
Before
Rockstar Spud as his little stooge.
Yes, and I remember that was actually really interesting for EC3 because I bet you he was probably the main writer on that if you think about it too. Because who would have thought? One, he recreated his home self. Two, he incorporated the Dixie Carter factor on that. I mean,
Yes.
it worked
Dixie
out.
Carter was useful.
It was for once actually,
I know, right?
but it was perfect for Ethan Carter the third, aka Derek Bateman.
Yeah.
So it worked out for him. I mean, yes, he's still in that TNA scene and everything like that. I don't know if WWE wants him back, but who knows?
Once his contract's up, I would get him back. I mean, he goes over there, he becomes a two-time champion. He just goes on this amazing run, has awesome matches. I mean, his stuff with Lashley, his stuff with Money Matt was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Everything was amazing about
Um,
and he can work a good match too if you think
yeah,
about it.
he can go. He uses the DDT,
DDT.
the original Dirty Deeds.
Oh, the underarm.
You hold the head right
Oh
here.
no, the
then
headlock. That's right, the
yeah,
headlock DDT.
headlock DDT calls it the 1%er because he's the 1%.
hmm
Makes brilliant. And then for another one, let's talk Bobby Lashley.
That I mean Bobby Lashley,
I
Bobby.
I mean, like he was supposed to be the next big thing.
He was, and I think Vince had a lot of like insight for
He
him.
likes big sweaty men.
Yeah, well, of course, I mean look at
Look at the
Roman.
SummerSlam main event that just happened. We'll talk about that on the 30th episode coming up later on this week. Hashtag 30 for 30. But anyway, I mean Bobby Lashley, like he goes off, like it does a little stint in TNA, then goes like to Bellator,
hmm
and then he comes back and he's the destroyer. Like he's just this beast. Like not to quote like Brock Lesnar or anything, but he's just on another level. I mean, his spear, like he does like a corkscrew spear, and sometimes guys like do a
No, it's all
moonsault.
over it, or they like they get inverted inside out.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he's gone off to become a four-time TNA world champion. He had great matches with Bobby Roode, James Storm,
hmm
who else? MVP.
Oh, I
The,
remember
the Beatdown
MVP.
Clan. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
I
Yeah.
remember that actually.
With Joe, Kurt Angle,
Actually, you know what
Drew
you know
McIntyre,
who I think of right when I think of Bobby Lashley having a match with Eric Young.
Eric Young.
'Cause
Yeah.
remember I remember it was MVP and then MVP had Bobby Lashley fight him for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship
Yeah.
and of course Eric Young is like the equivalent to Daniel Bryan if you
Sorry,
think
ladies
about
and
it.
gentlemen, we have a
We're getting way too many. Dude, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put like a black screen right there. No, no, no. You can't do that. No. You know what?
Hey, Ellsworth, get out of here.
Get out. Leave.
All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry for the disturbances that we keep receiving. Shut up, jobber. We are sorry. We're trying to run.
We're trying to run something very coordinated
I
and
know.
yet we're still getting interrupted.
I know this isn't the performance-enhancing audio you're used to hearing from us. We are sorry. We really are. But who are we? We're talking about Bobby Lashley. Am I correct?
You were talking about Bobby
Yes,
Lashley and his
absolutely.
matches with Eric Young and all that stuff. But
All
yeah,
right.
going back to my topic, Eric Young is kind of like the Daniel Bryan. When he was back at TNA, Eric Young was that Daniel
Yeah,
Bryan.
he was.
And
Daniel Bryan to Jace. Yeah,
I don't have one of those.
it's a whole thing. But who else? Drew Galloway.
He came back.
Really, yeah, really perfect example. Drew Galloway. I mean,
But the thing is with Drew Galloway, like they actually have a use for him.
they did. I mean, when he went to TNA, he wanted to become like the first traveling champion since Ric Flair, since back in those days. Now,
Woo!
now TNA, is it on the level of the WWE title? Of course not.
Mm-mm.
But it's
Actually, no. Back in the day, I remember I actually watched this match. It was a really good match. Hulk Hogan versus the Great Muta.
yes. But I mean, looking at it, Drew McIntyre, Drew Galloway, he really elevated TNA's game. I started watching. I really did. he brought a different feel. He was more serious. He wasn't the chosen one. He wasn't a part of a three-man band.
Mm-mm.
Um,
3MB. I mean, now you think about it, two of the 3MB are champions.
3 and B, the stable, it worked. I mean, we see Heath Slater became a tag team champion last year.
Mm-hmm.
The Maharaja is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and Drew McIntyre just recently, breaking news, he became the NXT Heavyweight Champion. So the stable worked. I enjoyed it. But
Oh, can we actually? Let's talk about more people, but I actually have a topic that I think you'll like too. But let's keep on going
let's
with
keep
it.
on going. But one of the probably the best ones that worked was
Delete! 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 Delete!
I think Broken Matt was in the building. I mean, when Matt Hardy went from being Money Matt to Broken Matt Hardy, that's the first time in his career that he was more over than his younger brother.
Yes, that is the main thing that a
I
lot of people
mean,
don't realize. I mean, we got a spectator Snapchatting right now, I think, but in the end, you think about it, like Matt changed his whole entire character. That's something a lot of people are not able to do.
he
L-
he was really able to reinvent himself. I mean, Jericho does it all the time,
But
but
Jericho's a legend though.
yeah, I mean, Matt Hardy, he's a legend too. I met Matt Hardy once before he was broken. I mean, Matt Hardy, from going to being Big Money Matt to just this different aura, this weird accent, the wild hair, the bleach blonde streak, and him saying things like yes
It
and
is absolutely
marvelous.
delightful.
Yeah, it's something that's crazy. And, I don't think we'll ever see again.
Unless if
Congratulations to Broken Matt.
unless if something happens where the lawsuit like changes and everything like that, then it's like I would like to
I
see the
I
broken,
know.
but
I
who
don't want them to
knows?
be woken. I want them to be broken. Of course, Brother Nero joining him also.
Obsolete.
Obsolete. Yes. And I think one of the biggest ones. I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes.
I mean, that's the poster child right there if you think
I
about it.
mean, Cody Rhodes. This is a man who left, I think, guaranteed six figures, and
Hmm.
took a bet on
Him and
himself.
his wife, actually, if you think about it. I mean,
I've met Brandy Rhodes.
she is a hot piece of work.
She is a boss, and I got this hot sauce. Just saying. All
Mm.
right. Yeah. I mean, Cody Rhodes. He left guaranteed six figures. He goes to take a bet on himself, and he became, along with AJ Styles, the only two men to have ever gone WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom, Final Battle, Pro Wrestling Guerrillas, Battle of Los Angeles, and then Bound for Glory.
Glory.
AJ's
Yeah,
the only guy to wrestle at these events. Cody's the one of two to
do it.
appear at all these
Do
events.
it.
And then, I mean, he just goes on a career renaissance. I mean, territory after territory after territory, just running the indies.
But would you ever think? I mean, back in the day, you had Eddie Guerrero, like when Eddie was out and when Chris Benoit didn't have a contract either. Would you ever think that
I mean,
Cody
Eddie Guerrero, like, he lost his contract and went off to Ring of Honor,
Runner?
became a bigger
Yes,
star.
that's the one thing that like you realize is like you look at these stars, you wouldn't think like nowadays like they would leave the WWE, but like you look
Yeah.
at Cody, like he's the main star that could do that.
I mean, I look at what Cody's done. He left WWE. He becomes the Global Force Wrestling Next Gen champion. He goes off from that. He becomes the
WCPW Internet Champion.
yes. He goes on to become the NEW Heavyweight Champion. He joins the Bullet Club. Too sweet to the boys. And then he just keeps going and going and going. And then look at him now. He's the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion.
And that's
A
and
championship I've held, by the way.
ooh,
Just throw that out there.
all right, all
Feels
right.
nice. Didn't want to let it go.
But I mean, when you think about it, like you look at Cody, he's actually had a little bit more success than Goldust on the fact of championships. Don't get me wrong, Goldust is
I
a
mean,
guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Goldust, one of the greatest in-ring psychologists in the history of the business. The whole androgynous character, his mannerisms. I think I need a Goldust drop on here. I think I do.
You do just at least the
Or I can get somebody
Goldust.
yelling at me. I can get one of those drops.
I mean, Christian Shingar's just came in here and yelled F the
Yeah.
revival, so who knows?
Who knows? All right.
Now,
Back to Cody. Yeah, just joins the BC, goes on a career renaissance.
he's actually enjoying himself right now too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's having a nice run. He's defending that championship.
he's
He's
actually
he's a traveling world champion. I'm
and he's
excited.
working it too. And like a lot of these companies, I think they're kind of skeptical of what Cody was gonna do, but like now Cody has like that freedom. It works perfectly out. It works for him actually.
Yeah. Uh, and I'll go a step further. Nobody talked about wrestlers leaving WWE and becoming bigger stars. Let's talk Joey Ryan, a guy who
Mm,
leaves TNA. A guy who leaves TNA, right? Because they didn't really do much for him. I think he was the referee for the knockouts matches.
it was, yes, he
Yeah.
was.
So he leaves TNA and then he just goes on this amazing.
Well, what do you call it? Like a
I mean, he starts to just gain fame, but then the spot in Japan where I forget the wrestler who did it. What's his name?
I don't recall now. I really don't recall
Yeah.
actually.
But he grabs onto the junk of Joey Ryan, and then Joey Ryan like starts flexing and
See?
flexing.
Oh, the crotch grab.
Yeah,
I know who we're talking. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I
yeah,
don't know the wrestler right now.
the dick flip they call it. Yeah. And then like that's what just sent him into a career renaissance. And then of course his theme song. It's nice right there.
Hmm.
Sing along with us.
I was telling of my lady.
Oh, you're actually singing.
Oh, I thought you actually meant it.
I mean, the vocals aren't what they used to be. You know, I used to be like Michael Jackson level of Jace. Like,
You know who can sing? It's actually Shin Guards can, but we're not getting Shin Guards in here.
yeah, we're not going to.
But
But
Joey
just
Ryan, actually,
yeah,
I've seen a couple of his matches. He can work a good match. Now, I've seen matches, unfortunately, with him versus females, and of course, you got the boob plex, you got
the the
the crotch plex. I think
the
it's like the
dick flip.
dick flip.
Yeah, I mean him and Candice LeRae, world's cutest tag team.
Yeah.
I've met Joey Ryan a few times, great guy. But yeah, just you don't need to be like at one of these top promotions to I don't even know if you want to consider TNA top promotion anymore, but
Uh,
you don't want to be at you don't have to be at one of these top promotions to succeed. I mean, look at the Young Bucks. I mean,
Young Bucks is just they were at TNA level actually when they were
they were
Generation Me, I think, right?
yeah. I
But
mean,
it's
Ring
just
of
like,
Honor is the top promotion in like the states,
hmm
but still, I mean, besides that, they work it every single night. They can go out there and have a great match with anybody.
oh yeah, that's the one. And like they know they're unfortunately in the words of Matt Hardy, they're spot monkeys.
Yeah. Oh, John Morrison, real quick. He's having some great success. Lucha Underground champion right now.
Yep. He's actually having a match with Ray Ray.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio. He's holding like three like major
Three
singles
triple A
titles
titles.
at the same
He
time.
and he just debuted, I think, for Impact.
Yeah, Johnny Impact.
Oh, you have Johnny Mundo, you have Johnny Nitro, you have Johnny what else?
Johnny Impact, John Morrison,
Listen.
uh, John Hennigan.
So if he
He's his real
so that
name.
means if he returns to WWE, is he gonna be Johnny Wrestling? Actually, no, I can't take that back. That's Johnny Gargano.
Yes, shout out to Gargano. No, but I think we've covered everything. Or didn't you have something else you want to speak of?
I actually thought of something that's kind of interesting. How do you feel about what do you call the stable names, like all that stuff? Because if you remember from NXT, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish.
A little preview for the 30 for 30 we're gonna do this week.
I'm thinking of that because I'm thinking of like stable names right now.
Dishonor.
Dishonor. That's what I feel like it should
Let's
be.
call him Dishonor.
And like we look back at some certain stable names that actually, if we can look, I mean, let's think, like some certain stable. Of course, you have iconic ones like, what's a good one to think of? You have Sanity. That's a
Yeah.
very interesting.
Evolution. That's picture perfect.
Of course, especially with the music from especially the music going along with it.
Oh,
Like,
Motorhead. Shout out to Lemmy. R.I.P. My guy.
and then you have DX. I mean,
Oh, D Generation X.
what was like one of the like weirdest like stable names that you heard of? Oh, La Resistance. That that weird
Los
ass.
Ingobernables de Japón.
Oh, that's
Some heat. Am I gonna get heat for that?
I don't know. You probably
I might
will.
get heat from you, Japan marks. It's cool. No, but I don't know. Weird stable name.
I've heard some weird ones before. I mean,
Rosebuds. There we
oh
go.
yes, the Rosebuds.
Yeah, the Rosebuds. There we go.
I mean, there's been some weird tag teams too, if you think about it. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, you have well, actually no, memorable ones is ENC, Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys. I mean, who else can we think? Chainsaw Charlie and
Cactus Jack.
Jack.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Well, if there's not anything else, I mean, do you have anything else to add?
I mean, is there really anything else we can add on?
I mean, I think those are all the wrestlers I can think of.
I mean, I thought we were supposed to talk about the modern day champion, the one that we called the Enlightened One, Jinder.
I mean, I think I might have to save that for the pod that the actual pod that we do.
All right.
Um,
As I say, ooh, we could talk about what's a good upcoming match. We could talk about like the New Japan, or you want to save that one for the podcast?
I mean, I hear Juice Robinson is supposed to be going up against Kenny Omega. That could be very interesting. We'll have to
Ooh,
see.
well, would you look at that? Breaking news.
What?
Remember, I don't know if you heard of Leo Rush, right?
Yes, I'm a fan of Leo Rush.
Look,
Except
look what just happened. He just got signed.
ladies and gentlemen, Leo Rush has just signed with the WWE. What is he like 22?
Two, yeah. A 22-year-old getting signed to the WWE. Well, he's been making a name for himself out in the Indies,
Bro,
actually.
I'm 21. What am I doing with my life?
That's the same thing I asked myself too, but then I realized I'm
Look,
in college with a job and
bro,
trying to pay off my.
Vince Hunter, signed your boy. I'll be creative. I'll do something. Leo Rush, congratulations to him, young stud making his way. I'm not a fan of the spot he did where with I think it was Joey Janela.
Yeah, it was.
He gets power bombed from a ladder through tables and stands right up. I'm not a fan of that. I believe Jim Cornette had a heart attack.
Oh, Drum Cornette, of course. Like
Yeah.
he's like the heart and soul of that. But
I mean, if you want us to wrap up, you can leave.
oh,
Tell him to go by himself.
ooh, I'll tell
Tell
him
him to
that.
go with his only friend. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for all this side banter,
I
whatever.
think we need to go. Let's just end
I
this.
think we do need to end this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this next episode of Shooting the Breeze. And as always, I think this is the way we should end every episode.
And thanks for being the elite. The elite. Break it down. The elite. Break it down. Block it out. Block it out. Block it out.
See you guys next time.